Hi, I'm Natasha Tardif, part of the management of the Paris office of Reed Smith, and I wanted to talk to you about lockdown and the challenges that it brings. Obviously, as all of us, we've had to adapt very quickly to a changing environment. I think we can say that lawyers are a very risk-averse population. We like planning things. We don't like very much surprises. And so it was, of course, a big challenge to go from one day to the other to start working remotely. I think one of the biggest challenges was to keep the link and the relationship with the people. And when I say the people, I mean our people within the firm and outside the firm, which means the teams we work with, our clients, and our partners, our associates, our staff, and therefore, obviously, making sure that everybody's safe, calling people, not calling clients just to ask them about their matters, but really calling them to see how they are, caring about one another, being there for one another, making sure everybody's fine, and not only in terms of being ill, but also in terms of being lonely, being in need of something. Obviously, a lot of people, might have been locked down without their families or without any friends around. And therefore making sure that everybody was okay, that they didn't need a hand, and also that sometimes making sure that they had someone to speak to. So I guess that was probably something that made us also realize that picking up the phone, not only for a specific purpose, but just for a little chat with someone is very important. And so I guess that was really something that I would take away from this time. Agility is a very good topic in terms of the takeaways from the lockdown period. I was very much impressed by the fact that we were able to all go, as a firm, to all go and start working remotely within 24 hours, right before the actual official measures were implemented in the country. The tools we have were obviously totally adapted, even though they'd never been tested for this kind of situation. And I was also very much impressed by the fact that everyone was able to start working through their phones, videos, video conferencing, adapting their methods of work. One I'd say nice example that I will give is the relationship we have with a specific association, whereby we have kids coming from outside the city for small internships within the firm to discover the kind of environment we work in. And we were not able to obviously bring them within the office during that period of time, so that was transformed and turned into tutoring, and we had a lot of volunteers, both in terms of the lawyers that were willing to help and in terms of the kids that were interested, obviously. Also, a number of us are lecturers at the university. Again, exams were done through video conferencing. Obviously, it goes without saying that work meetings, but also, socializing went through our IT tools, and they were all very well adapted. So I guess I'd say, that was very impressive. It was a very good way of testing the IT tools we have, but also of testing the agility of our teams. Another takeaway I'd say would be the way we came back when we opened up the office very gradually. But again, changing habits in a very short period of time, making sure all the safety measures were in place, making sure everybody felt safe coming back to the office. That was also something I was very impressed with at the firm. And I guess I'd say if I had one piece of advice to give, probably, for those who are not opened up yet, I'd probably say that, making sure that you take all the safety measures, everything's in place when people come back, so that it goes very smoothly. All they have to think of is, to adapt to their old working habits, and not have to worry about their safety, security, health. It's a good thing, and also making sure that there are people around to care and be aware of everything that happens, both in terms of the way the measures are implemented, but also in terms of how people could feel nervous about coming back, and listening to everyone, following up, catching up with everyone. That's also something I'd say was and it still is very important in terms of the opening up of the office. I think I'd say that the lessons I've learned and we're still learning from this very unique and I hope exceptional situation is that people come first. I mean, not that we didn't know, but sometimes we tend to forget, and being around for one another, caring about everyone's individual situation is fundamental. I'd say both in terms of managing the teams, but also in terms of the relationships you have with your clients, with the people you work with. So I would definitely take that away as being the first priority that we should always keep in mind. I'd also say that for all those who have not opened up their offices yet, it's really great to be back. So, good luck with everything. We're all here to share our experiences. So if anyone needs to discuss the way of coming back, I'd be happy to share my experience in any way possible. And I think a friend of mine told me that in Canada during lockdown, people used to draw rainbows and encourage each other and say that everything will be okay. So I guess I want to convey that message too. Everything's going to be okay. It's great to be back, and thanks for listening to me.